Here are the answers to the day 4 warm-up. Percent composition can be determined from actual measurements, like in the day 2 problem from this warm-up paper, or from chemical formulas. Question A, calculate the percent composition of ethane, which has the formula C2H6. So unlike that problem from a couple days ago about magnesium and nitrogen, where we were given that we had so many grams of magnesium, so many grams of nitrogen, we're not given that information this time, but we are given the formula, C2H6. So let's use the same percent composition formula that we did the other day. We're going to take the mass of an element and divide by the mass of the entire compound, and then change the decimals into percents. So focus on carbon first. The formula is C2. There's 2 carbons. So using the periodic table, we could look up capital C, finding out that carbon is 12.011, and multiply that by 2. The mass of the 2 carbons is 24.022. Now let's focus in on the hydrogen, which there are 6 of. So look up capital H on the periodic table. The mass is 1.008. Multiply that by 6 to get 6.048. We know that our formula for percent composition uses as the denominator the mass of the entire compound, so I want to add some things together to get that. The mass of the carbon plus the mass of the hydrogen adds up to 30.070. At this point, I have all of the numbers that are needed to apply my percent composition formula. We want to figure out the percent of the carbon and the percent of the hydrogen. So carbon is 24.022. Divide that by the total mass, and the result is 79.9%. Then use the formula again, but for hydrogen. The numerator is the 6.048. The denominator is the 30.070. And as a percent, that is 20.1%. Again, these have to add up to 100% or very close to 100%. Question B. Now that we know the percent composition, calculate the grams of carbon that would be in 150 grams of ethane. In question A, we figured out that 79.9% of ethane is carbon atoms. If we have 150 grams of ethane, then 79.9% of that would be carbon atoms. So the calculation is very straightforward. Find out what 79.9% of 150 grams is. So 79.9% as a decimal on a calculator is 0.799. Multiply that to the 150, and the answer is 120 grams.